right. Here we are. One more time. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I hope that you all had a fantastic week. Not too busy, not too boring, just perfect. Hey, Peter. Hey, Cantabrian. Thanks, guys, for joining today. Once again, a pleasure as always. So, yeah, time to continue with our character design for Ravenor, Gideon Ravenor. Unfortunately, I didn't have had any time to work during this week on it. Hey, Steven, welcome. Gary, hello. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, so I haven't been able to find any time during this week for doing anything else than work for clients. I'm like in how do you say in crunch mode since I have a lot of work. Pretty cool stuff, everything very exciting, but yeah, a lot of work. So I haven't been able to do anything. And now what I'm gonna do for the stream is the first time that I'm being able to do anything that is not client work. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Also, my throat last week, I had some. I had really felt after talking so much. Still not fully recovered, so hopefully it goes all right. Okay, so what I managed to do was last weekend. I did a little bit more after the stream. So I started to look into some details and patterns within the jacket. And that's where I left it. So I think I will take it from there today. David Pa or David Pa. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so let's go. I'm still need to observe a little bit since I haven't touched it in 1 week. So I need to get back into Ravenor mode. And yeah, to see how to continue, and if I like what I see so far, or if I think I should change anything. But yeah, I'm also super tired since, like I said, I'm crunching. I'm working every day until very late. Been working today as well, and next week is gonna be the same. So yeah, I'm pretty low on energies. So yeah, sorry about that. How's been your week? Enough of talking about myself. How's been your week? It's been okay, I hope. Anything exciting going on in your lives at work, painting or drawing anything cool? I am, but sadly I cannot talk anything. I can say it is Warhammer 40k related, but aside from that, I cannot say anything else. Um, well, and some, not everything that I'm working, because I'm also working in one, two, three, four different projects simultaneously at the moment. So it's quite a lot. Juan Toledano, hello, welcome. Welcome, sir. So yeah, have anything interesting happening for you guys? Doing anything cool? Any cool projects that you are doing or looking forward to do art-wise? So I remember I was when I left the concept, I was looking here to different type of patterns and things to do with the jacket. Let's see. Yeah. Dislocate design, creating planetary maps. Wow, that sounds very cool. Is it a personal project? Is it work? Is it? Can you elaborate a little bit more? Is it for what type of project is it? Is it for a game or something completely different? Planetary maps. Or maybe you are a scientist working for NASA or ESA with this new robot in Mars. All right, personal, cool. So is some type of illustration type of work, or I'm just very curious because it's not the common thing um, to hear people talk that they are doing something of the kind. Okay, nice. And yeah, sorry for so many questions, but I'm just super curious. I always love to hear what people are doing. Is it what type of personal project? Is it for a game, for a book, um, a short film, a demo, or with this type of how do you say, ornamentation for the jacket? Sorry, guys. I'm just thinking that I need to find the right balance. So I wanted to make it decorated and rich, but at the same time, I don't want to feel it too much, so it becomes too baroque. Um, wait. Where? There you go. And I forgot to put up the microphone as well. I hope that you are all listening, that you can hear me all right. But yeah, our super relaxing fireplace sound. And hopefully I don't fall asleep because I'm so tired. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Dislocate design, a big project. All right, awesome. Yes, and nice. So a big project and most likely a comic. Wow. Well, then a lot of respect to you. I think I have such a I love comic books, and I think they are so difficult to do. It involves so much work, and yeah, so respect. I tried a few times. Duran, thanks for the like. Yeah, I tried a few times to start a comic project, but it never went through. I mean, in most of the cases, it was because of life and things that happened in the way, which didn't help. But yeah, it needs such huge commitment and yeah, so much work. And sometimes I feel that people really don't understand how much work goes into creating a comic book or a graphic novel. It is insane. Luis, buenas noches. Good evening. How are you doing, Luis? So hopefully now, I mean, at this stage on the process now, it's a little bit more, a little bit less demanding, creatively speaking. At least for me at this point, I feel like some of the major design elements are already there and decided. So it's more twitching some stuff and playing around, but yeah, the heavy lifting is done. Which is the perfect moment to listen a podcast or something like that while I'm working. And dislocate design. So of course, I'm assuming then it's a science fiction story, or well, comic. Oh, sorry, guys. We'll see. I will try today to do the normal length of the stream, but I might not manage since I need to rest a little, since I need to get up early tomorrow to continue working. So yeah. The good thing is that at least I don't have to crunch too long, just for being only for this past week and the coming one, and then I can go back to normal. Dislocate design. All right, nice. 26 pages. Wow, that's a lot. Produci. Hello. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's something that I'm always trying. I'm always thinking about and struggling as well. I'm actually one of the things that I'm working at the moment. I'm really having one of those how do you say, downhill moments with one of these client work, because I'm just falling into the trap of trying to work and define every single thing when I know that is not my thing, and I have to control more the brush work and try to simplify. And yeah, I had to restart some things, even though it's quite advanced into the process. So it always feels like it's always scary, because it feels that it's going backward instead of forward. But I know it's always a good thing just to restart some things from time to time from scratch if they don't work. Dislocated design. I am. I really am. The thing is that lately I'm so extremely busy that I don't have any time for reading. So I'm waiting for audiobook release of them. But yeah, I mean, Dan Abnett is my absolute favorite 40k author, without a doubt. I mean, there are quite many others that are also very good, but to me, he's my absolute favorite. It's my top one author. So yeah, I'm really looking forward, especially since it go through with the same character from the Ravenor novels. Have you seen my fancy glass? Yeah. Luis, all right. Okay, cool. keep the good work, Luis. You are doing a fantastic work. I'm very fortunate that Luis here on the chat. He's a current student of my course at CGMA. He's taking the class right now, and he's doing a great job with it. Dislocated design, yeah, I mean, it can be very draining, and in this case, for this particular one that I'm talking about, it's illustration work, and I'm still in this case I'm struggling with this piece, and I know for a fact that it's I'm learning quite a lot from it, but it's always like this arty struggle, right? That I tend to talk a lot. Where yeah, now I'm going a little bit downhill with this project, and it's a shame in some way because I would like it to enjoy that and to feel that I'm doing a better job. But yeah, I don't feel that way. So I'm kind of hitting my head against a wall, but hopefully it will turn out okay at the end. Sometimes it also happened that after some of these struggles, you actually get to a great place. You actually find a way to solving the problem, and it actually feels very fulfilling. So yeah, hopefully that's gonna be the case. Finger crossed. Yeah. And yeah, Aaron Dembski is fantastic as well. I really enjoyed the how's it called, the Night Lords trilogy. I really liked it as well. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely many other writers that are doing a fantastic job as well. But Dan Abnett, it's my top one. It's always, I don't know how, but it's every single novel that he's doing. I really enjoy them. I mean, he has such capacity of creating such an immersive setting and environment, and yeah, I mean, like for example, the last one from the Horus Heresy, the Saturnine, I think it is, from the Siege of Terra novels. I mean, it's so good. It's one of the few books from the Horus Heresy that really sparked so many ideas for creating art. I was reading and just like thinking, oh my goodness, this could be such an awesome image, an illustration of this scene or this or that. Yeah, it's extremely inspiring. Luis, you are so kind. Thanks. Thank you. Okay, Luis, nice. Nice. also, for example, this week, once again, I didn't have time to do anything else than just client work, so um, I haven't been able to work on the Space Marines tutorial neither. So yeah, or what is left of February, I'm completely locked with client work, unfortunately. But one needs to pay the bills. Hopefully, when I'm ready to launch the Patreon, I can afford to take less client work. That would be fantastic. So I can spend more time on my projects. And create more tutorials and stuff like that. And I don't know if you guys, for example, talking about novels and then Abnet, and of course, since it's within the subject of the concept that we are doing, have you read the Ravenor novels and also the short stories from Eisenhorn? Because they are fantastic. They are so good. Also, not just the the Eisenhorn trilogy, but he has written several short stories, and they are so good as well. I mean, for me, one of the things that I appreciate the most from Dan Abnett is not only that he was the first writer to start to create new things and expanding the universe, not just sticking to canon from the tabletop game, but just actually being bold and expanding the universe and making it more relatable. Yeah, so being the first one, but yeah, the fact that he is constantly just expanding the universe, creating new ways of understanding and describing this rich universe that is 40k, that is not just everything the same as some people fail to portray. And you hear so many discussions about lore and they all the time talking in broad strokes, like, yeah, things are like this in the empire, or people, or I mean anything that you can imagine, and not realizing that it's like a million worlds, right? Just imagine the diversity that there's going to be there in terms of cultures, ways of thinking, of dressing, of anything. I mean, just trying to envision such a insane scale of a universe with very generalistic strokes is just is bad. And that's what tend to happen before Dan Abnett started to write novels for 40k, that all the novels were crap because of that. It was just like a translation of ideas drawn from the tabletop game, but nothing else. So everything had to be the same as the tabletop. And it's understandable from the company point of view and protecting known IP. And I could be speaking about this for weeks. 7 days a week, 24 hours about this subject, because it's extremely interesting from a creative point of view. How to be faithful to a very rich intellectual property, but making adaptations to a medium that is not original to that IP. In this case, 40K is a tabletop game, miniatures, toys, and trying to take that universe into other mediums. When they started taking it to novels, they were absolutely crap, because they were trying to be as faithful and as close as the tabletop, making it super blunt and exaggerated, and it's super difficult to relate, and yeah. So you need to find the balance of trying to adapt and create things in a new light, even though staying faithful to that original IP, but you must adapt. You need to expand in order to make it relatable. Not everything in 40K has to be over the top insanity, because if not, it wouldn't work realistically. It would be impossible for people to live under those conditions everywhere. I mean, it would collapse. I mean, it would be ridiculous. And Dan Abnett was the first one to actually portray that into, okay, not everything needs to be so over the top. Some things can be actually pretty easy to understand and relate to, and yeah. And now, for example, that I'm involved in so many projects with 40K and in other mediums, video games and other things. It's one of those challenges that you need to work with, and that's something that I'm trying to do in this concept, right? So not everything needs to be all the time over the top armors with weapons everywhere and filled with skulls and stuff like that, because it wouldn't be realistic. I mean, people wouldn't live all the time that way. I mean, just for specific moments, like for a battle or something. Alchemy. Hello, welcome to the stream. What is the document size for this one? Yeah, we can check. Let's see. Here you have it. I tend to work big. If I can, I like to work with big files, because if I need to, yeah, I always can. Once I have the big file, the original file, if it's big, I can always make it smaller if needed. But if I want, it will be more difficult the other way around. So yeah. Dislocated design, yeah, man. Yes. I haven't read Double Eagle, but all the other ones that you are mentioning, I have. Titanicus, I also liked it a lot. Um, Once again, because it just dive into the world of the princeps and the House of Titans, right? And try to make it work and just to be able to relate to how it is. And yeah, it's fantastic. Is that they actually have lives aside from just controlling Titans. There are people with and and even if it's over the top, it's described in such a way that it makes sense and it's easy to relate to. Dislocated design, yeah, totally agree with the diversity. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, this conception that all the worlds of the Imperium are hellish and people are suffering to insane degree, and it's like, yeah, in some cases yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is the same and that you cannot find, for instance, worlds that are actually quite okay to live there and they are not that insane. So the diversity is there. You just need to be able to portray something different, but still within the that universe and make it fit. But not everything need to be just wars. I mean, that's kind of the problem. Is like, of course, the tabletop game is about battles and everything military related. So yeah, but then of course that culture is not everything. Um, Not everything just devolve around that. There has to be something else. And that's where Dan really shines as an author. Um, Alchemy, well, I mean, just do. I mean, don't take my. Don't take the way I do it as the way to do it. Is just how I like to do it, and yeah, doesn't mean that just by working smaller, it's worse. It's just that it's just my personal preference. Is nothing more than that. Um, I had a colleague that he used to work like triple the size of the ones that I normally do. I mean, just pure insanity. He was all the time running out of memory on the computer. So in his case, I think it was a little bit too much. There was no reason really. Now I'm listening to the audiobooks of the Vaults of Terra, and I'm with the first book, and I'm enjoying it. It is nice. It's also about the Inquisition, but in this case on Earth, on Terra. Alchemy, all right. Okay, fair enough. But yes, I wanted just to again, I mean, just to communicate properly. That is just, there is no more reason than just for me to do it than just personal preference. So because for example, I hate to zoom in and then start to see the pixels. So I don't want to feel those pixels popping up as soon as I start to get into some details. So yeah. Dislocated design. Okay, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, we spent some time sketching and trying to come up with a direction that kind of felt right. And yeah, I'm just, in this case, I'm just improvising since I'm not sticking to any specific description of him on the novel from Eisenhorn, where he's when he's presented for the first time before the accident. For example, in terms of depicting the universe and characters and all that, this book, the Vaults of Terra, that I'm listening to, it's about the Inquisitors and things like that. So you could say it's the same theme and type of characters than with Eisenhorn. And even though it is pretty cool and I'm liking it, I don't see anything wrong. But for instance, the characters in it, the Inquisitors, the Interrogators, it feels that they are just fighting all the time. That they are all the time with suited with ceramite armors and stuff like that, and it feels like, okay, yeah, but it feels not very realistic because they are not space marines. They are people. They are not gonna. I mean, that is very unpractical. I mean, they need to go to the toilet. They need to sleep. They are not gonna be wearing all the time an armor. But on the novel, they are all the time, or it feels that they are all the time with an armor. In Dan novels, he makes sure to show you, even though maybe most in many cases everything is about of course the action and the things, but make sure to show you things that are not action, so you can see those characters within a context that it's more humane and practical. I don't know, not all the time gear for war and for jump and shoot and slice and things like that. I mean, that's also, of course, then we are entering into another territory. But it's also in terms of how to make things more epic or interesting. If everything is all the time action and over the top, at the end it just lose strength. You need to add moments which are not action packed, and in this case, within the subject that we are talking, it cannot be everything over the top all the time, because when you really want to show things over the top, it's just gonna be blended and washed away. In order to make more impact, you need to have those contrasts. Well, I will do something here with a belt, still don't know what. There's also, for example, with this project that I'm working with, Dark Tide. I remember when they contacted me to ask me if I was interested in joining, and they were pitching the project, and I asked, is there gonna be any Space Marines? Are we gonna play like a Space Marine? And they say no. I was like, nice. This is it. This is gonna be fantastic. Precisely because of all these things that we are talking about. If everything is just about Space Marines, we cannot have a human perspective in things to compare within that universe, and makes everything more difficult to relate to. So, for instance, all these novels of the Imperial Guard, novels from Dan Abnett's, the Gaunt novels, they are fantastic because you can see all this madness of war from a human perspective and not just superhumans. And everything becomes immediately more epic. Let's see if adding some type of pattern texture here would be interesting or would be too much. Mm. Um, well, today I'm so tired. I don't think I'm gonna last very long. And I was already. That's another. Let's see. I was going to ask if what should I do next during the stream. I was thinking to do some kind of you could say some type of cover art illustration, space marine related, or doing another with the same scope as this character, but doing Mechanicus character. I don't know, a priest or something else, but with from the Mechanicus cult. Yeah. So, do you think that will be something cool to do? And yeah, and the thing is that every time I'm working on something, I'm immediately start to think about something else to do next. I am very restless in that way. I get tired very fast from what I'm doing. I was listening to the Mechanicus game soundtrack the other day. I haven't played the game, but just listening to the music, and it was so good. Just made me feel that actually that would be super cool to do Mechanicus character within this scope of trying to make a very realistic take. Because these characters, they are very much over the top. Dislocated design. Yeah, I'm so hyped with Dark Tide. You have no idea. And I'm having so much fun. It is. I'm very, very, very fortunate of being working on this project. It is. Yeah. I would not change it for anything, really. And all right. I'm feeling strongly for the tech priest or magus or anything. Yeah, Cantarian. The soundtrack for Mechanicus is so good. And I was listening to some of the voice acting for that game. Also so good. Is with those voices. They are so scary and so unhuman. I love it. It's such a good direction. It's so good. And Imos, yes. I mean, I would definitely like to do more of the Eisenhorn retinue for sure. It's just to have a little, to do something slightly different in between, in order to continue being fresh with the process, so not to get burned that easily, since after all this is just for fun. But yeah, Imos is another one that will be fantastic, and he has a lot of augmentations and stuff of that kind. But I just, the thing what I feel strong for a Mechanicus type of character is that not trying to stick with anything that already exists, of, I mean, specific novel character or anything, so I just can have a little bit more of creativity and room to do whatever. Because even though I absolutely love this type of work, with these kind of creative constraints of sticking to a character with specific descriptions and stuff like that, it's awesome creative challenge, but still is very demanding, creatively speaking. And yeah, so I would like to do something a little bit more relaxing that way for the next piece. Alchemy, yes. I'm working on Dark Tide. Been working with them for a long time now. I'm still working on it. I'm creating most of. I'm doing all the concept work for the characters, for all the character design on the game, and yeah, it's amazing. Not only the job description, but also the project and the vision that they have. These guys are nailing it. I'm so hyped, aside from being working there, just as a gamer and as a huge 40k fan. I'm so hyped. And it's a shame that I cannot talk anything, any details about the project. I would love to share a little bit of it, but I cannot. But yeah, if you knew, if you knew. Luis, yeah, maybe even a dark mechanicum. That would be awesome. The thing is that they look so creepy and so scary that actually doing a good mechanicum guy not would be, in my opinion, more interesting because of that. Because it should look terrifying, but still knowing that he's one of the so-called good guys. Yes. But yeah, hopefully with time I will be able to share more things about the work that I'm doing. But yeah, I'm enjoying it like I don't know. I'm like a kid again working on this project. And also I'm very lucky because they are giving me a lot of room to and creative freedom. So that's also something very good and not that easy to come across in this industry. So that is great. But yeah, the other alternative that I was thinking to do more like cover art illustration. I was thinking maybe like if it was for the artist shorts, something like that. To do a very striking looking illustration with that subject, perhaps that would be nice. Thank you for the like, Phil. Alchemy, yeah. NDA is what it is. But you know, no, even in some cases with some projects, even after it's released, or you are not allowed to show anything. So it's not granted. In this case, I know it is going to be okay. I know. So time will come. Cantabrian. Yeah, it could be. I mean, for that, I have a very strong idea in my mind of what I would like to do. But yeah, it could be. Could be one direction for sure. But I'm just thinking, kind of creating like some kind of scene where it's extremely dark and almost half of the frame is extremely dark, and only down you have is illuminated, so you can see the legs. And here you kind of distinguish a silhouette, but not that clearly, but you see and the two eyes, and here all of on the floor where you can see, because of the light, it's littered with corpses and all gore and blood, and you see that just slipping through from the legs of the Space Marine, something like that. That's kind of what I'm yeah. It's one of these things where I have those occasions where I have a very strong mental image that I would like to explore. So I wouldn't need to spend too much time sketching or trying to find an idea, because it's pretty straightforward. Gathering Wolves. How is the class going at CGMA? I'm guessing that you're asking. Pretty good. Enjoying it a lot. All the students are fantastic. We actually have one here, Luis, is on the chat. He's taking the class at the moment, and yeah, so really enjoying it. It is fantastic. And it's a subject that I feel so passionate about, and I feel is so fascinating. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. And I'm so happy that it was not an easy course to create. My goodness, it took me such a long time. So many tears and sweat it cost me to create that course. I had to do it pretty fast. But after doing it, I'm actually feeling very proud with the result. I think it's a very solid course and very unique in that sense. I honestly, I have checked several times online for courses online, and there is not a single course like this one on the internet. where it's only and exclusively dedicated into looking into visual narrative. So yeah, it feels good. And again, it's fantastic interacting with the students. I love it. It's so much fun and inspiring. And I also learned a lot by teaching. I have to say that it's I'm learning a lot as well. So in terms of the kind of vision that I'm trying to apply here for the costume design and the character is like this fine line between what would be in general terms like expensive kind of clothing with ornaments and stuff like that decorated, but at the same time utilitarian and that it need to. I mean, I don't want it to end up just looking like epoch, like historical type of costume from 700s or 1600 or something like that. So I need to then start to apply certain elements that, yeah, high tech or things that kind of speaks more science fiction, but also tied within the flavor and touch of 40k, which at the moment it's pretty light or non-existent. So I need to add a little bit of that as well. I'm thinking as well that how would it be to add some kind of golden stripe around? Would it feel too much, perhaps? Matt, thanks for the like. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit too much. If it goes everywhere. Well, Luis, wow. Thanks a lot for the prize. For the praise, sorry. And yeah, much appreciated, Luis. I'm very happy that you feel that way and that you are enjoying it. Matt, thank you. No, thanks for your kind words. Thank you. Much appreciated. and welcome to the stream. Um, yeah, there is one thing that I actually like about the simplicity of color within the jacket. That is only one color. I really like that. Could be maybe interesting to see different shades of red, perhaps very subtle changes. For example, like this. I'm just experimenting at the moment, so I think should be maybe the other way around. And the difference to be even more subtle. Let's see. Not sure. It's all these type of things that you can do even. I don't know. There's something I like about just the same kind of this simplicity with the color. But I think it's worth it to still explore some few more alternatives. At this stage, at least. The thing is, I just don't want it to look like everything that is being done already. I just want to create something a little bit more different. So kind of going back to the spirit of the original work of the novels, trying to expand and to create something new within the art direction of this of the IP. Oh shit, this, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, about the gun, for sure. I still need to add more things into it. We also need to add some holes for the buttons. Yes, dislocated design. Sorry. Yes, it just I was trying to at first, especially with the psychic canon that he had, that I had on some of the sketches. I was more trying to go with a more straight design as how he is described in the for the first time in the second, I think it's the second novel of Eisenhorn. But then I decided just to kind of go free and do something else. And I feel that for my goal for this design, I don't want to make anything too extravagant or exotic as would be the psychic cannon on the shoulder, because I feel that would be a little bit too distracting from the character as an individual. So that's why I decided just to not go for it. But yeah, for another take on the character, and if this would be for a proper project, definitely I think it will be a goal to try that and to make, for example, another version where he is more geared for combat and for mission. I think that will be interesting and needed. I mean, myself as a designer, I'm drawn more to this kind of creative challenge of not trying to depict the character as the easy way, right? Within the 40k universe, that would be like with gear to the teeth to war with weapons and armor plates everywhere and skulls and stuff, parchments and things like that. And for me, I think that would be the easy thing to do because it's already established and everybody can do that. But I feel that as a creative exercise for this, it's more interesting trying to go a little bit deeper and try to, okay, how could we represent these characters in something else than what we already know 40k looks like. So yeah, I mean, just to explain a little bit where is my my mind and my aim for what I want to accomplish with this design. What? And myself as a I don't know, as an artist and somebody creative, I feel, for example, with and being such a huge fan of 40k, right? And that I love it. I mean, visually and everything. I have absolutely nothing with big armors and all this type of paraphernalia because I love it. But I'm very drive towards kind of knowing how things looked, things of this universe that they are not normally depicted because it's not the common thing that you see on the stories. How things look, you know, how would certain objects look within the universe aside from guns or things like that, how they will be designed. Yeah, all these type of things I think is super interesting. And going back to what we were talking about in terms of what Dan Abnett has done expanding the universe with the novels, it's kind of the same thing but within the visual medium, right? How to expand the universe visually with those type of things that are never shown. And yeah, I think it's super interesting. And I would love to see more of that. Yeah, dislocated design, exactly. That's the word. A more grounded vision for things. Yes. Cantabrian. All right. Nice. Nice projects. The Emperor himself. Nice. Yeah. That's another, for example, that it's a fantastic designing challenge, I think. Trying to depict the Emperor in a setting that is not the one that is as how is normally depicted in armor, in epic stance. Like, how about the Emperor when he's talking and he's just at home, so to speak? How would Emperor look aside from lore and psychic visions and how he show himself to others and blah 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 blah? But the person, right? How he would be dressed, how he would, what would be his, I mean, wouldn't be that fantastic? I mean, perhaps in this case it's an impossible challenge, since I think the interesting thing of this character is actually not trying not to depict him in detail and just make it something more vague and um, legendary, right? So more like a mythical figure more than anything. I think that's what makes the character of the Emperor so powerful and inspiring in this universe. And perhaps if diving so in detail would be um, not a good choice, perhaps. But in terms of the challenge itself, I think it would be super interesting. Yeah, I mean, there is nothing more epic than the Emperor. So Cantabrian, you have to share that when you are done. Pontus, thank you, man. You are lurking. You are such a stalker, Pontus. Just go and be with your guests. God damn it. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. I hope that everybody is doing well, Pontus, at home. Okay, going back to the gloves. Would like to do something cool here. Cantarian, all right. So you are trying to depict the confrontation between Horus and the Emperor. That's epic. And yeah, the details. Yeah, that's that can be a rabbit hole. Come on. Yeah, I think it is dangerous to get caught into the details. Um, it's yeah, you can get caught up with them and leaving the essentials and not completely finish or well grounded. Yeah. And sorry again, guys, that I'm with such low energy and not talking so much, but I'm very tired. And I need to go to sleep today, soonish, so I can start fresh tomorrow to do some kick art. Oh my god, you see, I'm completely fucked. Some kick-ass art. Especially considering that I'm really struggling with what I'm doing at the moment with client work. So I need to be on my best game because today's been quite a painful day. Like those days where everything that I'm doing sucks. Nothing is what I want. And everything that I do is failing. Alchemy, well, you're welcome, and I love to stream. I'm really enjoying it and getting the chance to to talk to you guys and to slowly getting to know you and yeah, I'm really liking it. But yeah, I'm tired. But dislocated design. What do you mean with a micro? How do you say that? Micro bead? What is that? You will see. It's gonna be something super obvious, but I'm just like dislocated design. I see what you mean. Yeah, something. Yes. Yeah, I have to add this. That's something that I was thinking here. Perhaps there is something of on that direction. Perhaps I don't know. But yeah, certain. I need to add some of those tiny things that could give a little bit more context to the character that I think they would be cool. Yes. So that's a good reminder. And Cantabrian, thanks. Yes, I'm really looking forward to go to bed. Last night was actually pretty funny because since I'm staying quite late these days, crunching, instead of going to bed with my girlfriend, to not to wake her, I just went to sleep on another bed on the guest room, and we've been just taking care of our friend's dog. So we had two dogs, my dog Bilbo and this other dog. She's English Mastiff, so she's huge, and she was already sleeping on the bed. So I had just to convince her just to remove her from there, and she was just like, yeah, she was not happy. So it was a little bit intimidating to do. And then my dog woke up as well, so I end up sleeping on the bed with, yeah, my dog Bilbo is a golden retriever, but he's bigger than normal. He's quite a big golden retriever. So him and this other dog, they end up on the bed with me. So I barely slept anything, I can't tell you. Seb, saludo, bienvenido al stream. And yes, a la triste here, yes. Awesome character from some Spanish novels. I think I have read all the books. Very easy to read, but very enjoyable. I'm guessing that they must be translated in English. I'm sure. For those of you that are interested in historical novels, there's this series of novels. There are quite many of them based on this character. This is they made a feature film based on the novels with oh my goodness, what's his name? Viggo Mortensen as the character. So he's like a Spanish soldier from the 17th century, and yeah, it's fantastic. They are super cool. And the character is called A la Triste. Yeah. Seb, oh really? Nice. Yeah, they are very easy to read books. But yeah, super nice. And there are quite a bunch of them. I think they, I mean, they have quite some years now, but they were a huge bestseller in Spain. There are 7. All right. Yeah, so there are quite many. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have read all of them. I think maybe I have missed 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure I have read them all. But I mean, quite many years ago, so that's why I don't remember. But I just, yeah, I read them so fast, like como pipas. Like, uh, Luis, yes, the alien that I did based on my dog Bilbo. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that was quite fun. It was quite a. I completely improvised it because it was for this personal challenge that I created for myself of making a character a day, and that day I had no idea what to do, and he was on top of me all the time, and I decided, oh, okay, let's do an alien, but I'm gonna start with him as a model. So yeah. Helen, thank you for the like, and welcome to the stream if you are watching. Regarding the the reference of Alatriste, it's for the pattern on the leather work and the sleeve here with I don't know how's it called in English, but where it suits. Yeah, I don't know if you are noticing that I'm not really pushing the design much forward, and the reason is because I'm being very lazy, and I guess my excuse that is that I'm tired. So I'm not committing to moving forward the design really. I'm just jumping all over with small stuff that is not that important. Yeah, I guess I could define, for example, this other glove, this other hand. and it's obviously I will not be able to finish the concept today, and sadly, since I'm gonna be so busy next week as well with client work, and I will not have any time to continue it. Yeah, we will be stuck with this concept a little bit longer than I wish. Because I think this is the 4th stream, right? That we are working with Ravenor. So start to feel a little bit too long. But these things take time. So yeah, if I could, I would definitely work just to give a final push, and so we could move on to something new. By the way, I have one question. Is anybody here on the stream by any chance Patreon for Astartes? And if you are you excited for the next release? Helen, thanks a lot. That's very kind. Thank you. Very kind to say. How are you doing? I think it's the first time I see you around here. How are you? Seb, yes, yes and no. I love to paint with oils, and I used to, but now due to my due to work, I don't have any time to do it. I only would have time on my spare time, and on my spare time, I am trying to focus to start to build things, to start working on my project. So yeah, no time for oil painting, but I really missed it, for sure. I really miss the how could you say? I miss the fact of, I mean, even though I absolutely love digital painting, I think it's amazing, and it brings so many, it's such an amazing tool. But because of the same reasons that make it very a fantastic tool, I actually miss the fact that you need to take things more slowly with traditional mediums, or in this case with oils, of mixing, and that gives you time to think when you need to wait for the paint to dry. And I really miss that that pace. I really do. It's a kind of meditative. I feel that with digital painting, everything is more hectic. It's like you need to go and go and go forward all the time. Which, again, in one hand, is fantastic because all the opportunities that it offers. But yeah, I miss that the part of taking it easy with oils. Matt. Yeah, yeah. But are you a patron of Siema? Helen, all right. Nice to hear. I mean, it wouldn't make too much sense to have this element here, really. But yeah, I think we're gonna take it away. Zeb. All right. Yeah, actually, that's kind of deliberate because I enjoy so much oil painting, and when I started using digital painting, I tried to let's see how I can do it in a way that gets closer to that, and yeah, so that was my intention. I don't know if I really managed to accomplish that, but that was my intention. Um, oops. Tom, thanks for the like. Pontus, you are all right. Nice. No, it just bugged on me. Just this weird bug that I have now on Photoshop that at some point I cannot um I cannot do anything. I just need to close and open again. Just let me change the screen 1 second. Again, to avoid showing anything sensitive. Let's see. All right. One second. All right, now we are gold. There you go. Yes, now it works. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird bug. I don't know if you guys are having it, but it's very annoying. Matt, well, I don't know. That's up to you if you want to be a patron or not. I wasn't saying it in that sense that you should. It just I was just curious to know if any of you were patrons. It's so insane that has raised the bar so high. And even though there are so many other people doing their own fan art stuff and trying to copy the format, right, of doing other short animated animations, short animated 3D stuff of 40K, which is fantastic, but none come close to the quality that he has done so far in terms of modeling, lighting, cinematography, everything. Is just like pure genius. Is that's what sets him apart from anybody else, is that everything is spot on. Some have like some 3D that it's cool, or some models that are cool, but the rest is just like, man, it's okay, nothing that special. I mean, there is always something that is just kind of so, but everything that he has done so far is just like, wow. I'm so impressed with him. He's insane how good he is. Yeah, he's. And again, going back to the subject that we've been talking so much during this stream about expanding the universe, being creative and being bold, doing things outside what is already canon, so to speak, visually speaking. And he, of course, he's doing fan art, so he can do whatever he wants. But his vision is great in that sense as well, because he's being bold and trying to reinterpret. He has done a fantastic job reinterpreting the armor of and the depictions of space marines, their weapons, and how they use them in a way that is realistic and makes sense. Not like having, like, I don't know, like a clip for a bolter, which realistically would only have space for 5 or 6 bullets, as you see in a lot of fan art. But in his case, it actually works, and it's like plenty of room for a lot of bolts and stuff like that, and armors that actually work, and how they place around them without clipping into the geometry of. Because there is plenty of 3D models out there of Space Marines where it just like it make the trick, but they are bad in the sense that it's an actually geometry that wouldn't work. But he managed to make that in a way that is still respectful with the look and shapes and dimensions and everything of a Space Marine armor, and at the same time work without any clipping. And then of course the thing with the spheres and these thing that place that he goes after, all of that is just his own, and there's nowhere being shown about those places or creatures anywhere, but still it fits within the IP. But he's expanding it, and it's fantastic. And for that, you need to be very good in order to do that. So yeah, it is not an easy feat to achieve. Matt, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think is the second episode is when it really just blow my mind. I mean, the first episode was like, oh, this is very, very good. But still, it was very more like a teaser, right? But as soon as they land into that ship and they board it, oh my goodness, yeah. He's literally a genius, and it's obvious by the work itself. But then when I talked to him and I made the tiny collaboration with him, which I have no idea when he will show any of that. But yeah, we were discussing things, and he was explaining what he wanted me to do, and things. His vision is on point. He knows what he does. He knows what he wants to do, and great choice of things. I mean, yeah, fantastic art direction. Yes. It's such a delight of working with such with people with such talent. It's yeah. It's very humbling. I was going to say intimidating in one way, but I would say it's more humbling than anything else, and inspiring as well. Cantabrian, yeah, about the functionality of the armor. Yes, exactly. I mean, that's one of the things why Space Marines are so extremely difficult to depict properly. And then but of course, when you are painting them, I mean, you are doing in 2D, you still can get away with a lot of mistakes, because after all, it's just a 2D image. But when you are trying to do an animated figure in 3D, I mean, you cannot, I mean, you should make it work. And he managed to do it when many others have failed. But reinterpreting things as well. So that's one of the things that I love about his the work that he has done. He's just not only being faithful to the look, but just reinterpreting it. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's one of the problems, for example, I have with weapon designs in the 40k universe, is that most of those designs are derived from designs made to work for a miniature, for a toy. And they are fantastic and I love them, but if you are trying to scale that weapon into a setting and a context that is realistic, they look ridiculous and like toys. They don't look real. They are too over the top. There are some of them, you can get away with them, but most of them not. So if you are trying to make a realistic depiction, you need to reinterpret them. You cannot just copy paste the original design, because they are done for a fucking toy that is this small, and in order to see them, they need to make them bigger and with bigger details. And yeah, and that's why a lot of people fail at this, because they just copy paste in order to be faithful, but they make something that doesn't feel real. It feels like a toy. And dislocated design, exactly, with the sound, another aspect which is brilliant. That's what I mean, that there is absolutely no aspects in or discipline in those shorts that is not brilliant. Everything, it's on the spot. It's the music as well. It's fantastic. Alchemy, yeah. Igor, yeah, he's a great artist, super talented. Yes, he is. But yeah, going back to design and trying to depict the 40K universe into a realistic light is a challenge. And that's one of the things that I'm extremely interested in seeing how they manage to solve for the Eisenhorn series, which I will kill to work on that project. But yeah, that would be, I think, a huge challenge if they want to make that world or universe to look plausible and easy to relate to. I mean, there's no other way around. They cannot take the look and designs literally from the tabletop game. It cannot be done. I mean, it can be done, but then it's gonna suck. It's gonna look preposterous. And again, I mean, just don't make me wrong. I love the look of 40K. That's one of the things why I fell in love with it. But yeah, I hope that it makes sense what I'm saying. That and that's also something that you see very commonly in adaptations into video game as well. That they are trying to do something realistic, but still they are just copy pasting the designs from the tabletop game, and yeah, it looks like toys. And with all of these, of course, there is much more into it, and a lot of things that people definitely don't think about it, which is IP management and all these type of challenges that is not as straightforward as people think. That is just you design. I mean, you need to deal with legal stuff and boundaries that maybe the owners of the IP are imposing, and you cannot do anything about those things, and etc. etc. So it's I think it's a fascinating subject, and it's extremely challenging, and but yeah, it is what it is. It if you don't do it properly, it will suck, regardless of all these issues attached to it. But I believe that Games Workshop is learning from that as well. So yeah, really interesting to see how things are going to turn. Also, with all these animated series that they have announced and show some teasers, but nothing more. I'm really looking forward to see how, I mean, being animated series, they have more room to be, I mean, play with the style if things are more cartoony, then of course they can go all over the place and it's not a big issue. So all these things that I'm mentioning is having into account that the scope is depicting a realistic depiction of the 40k universe, like a live action movie or series, or a video game for the as well. Dislocated design, yes. About the Eisenhorn series, yes. Also, that's why I'm actually doing this. I'm kind of, this is how I would approach working on that project in that sense. This is how I would try to do it. Of course, way more in depth. I would do more in depth research with everything because after all, this I'm just doing for the sake of doing it, and I have limited time to work on this for the stream. But this is kind of what I would love to do, right? Again, they wouldn't be able to be walking around in power armor everywhere because it wouldn't be. I mean, it would look ridiculous. Aside from not looking, I mean, just to depicting a setting that is just not relatable, not just visually speaking, but in context. Yeah. Cantabrian Vrag's animated series looks very promising. Okay, I'm not familiar. Is it one of these animated series from Games Workshop, or is something different? But I will take a look for sure. Yeah, I have seen the Hill Reach videos. Yes, very good. But again, this is, in that case is he can go literal in terms of depicting, I mean, visually speaking, all these things, because it's a more extremely stylized videos, right? The art direction is very stylized, and it works perfectly. So there is, it's totally fine. What I have seen today was a short animated, an animated short with Conan the Barbarian. Oh my goodness, was fantastic. So good. Can't remember how is it called, but it's some Conan and like fighting some orcs. It's very short, but so good. I totally recommend it to take a look. Just look for animated short 3D with Conan. And I think it will be easy to find. I'm a huge fan of Conan. I'm talking about the books. I like the first film, but the other ones are kind of silly. But uh, but yeah, I I like Conan a lot. Alchemy, yes, I have seen Korgoth of Barbaria. Yes, it's brilliant. Such a shame that they they didn't manage to make a series of it. But yeah, the pilot is awesome. It's very very funny. Said Posada, which one? Oof, I hmm, at the moment I have no idea because it's been like ages since I have done it, but I read them. But I would say any from its original author, not any um, modern book written by another author. Just what's his name? Howard? Can't remember. Let's see. Robert E. Howard. Yeah. So any of any book written by him, and many are short stories. So there are many of the books are a compilation of short stories. All right. Well, I think, guys, I think I'm done for today. I'm wasted. Yes. So I haven't managed to do much. Just a little tiny bit, but yeah, not so much. Hopefully next stream we can move it forward and I'm not that tired, but probably I will be even more tired because yeah, I'm gonna be crunching the whole week as well. So yeah, I'm not looking forward. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining in once again. Much love to all of you. Have a great end of the weekend and week. Stay safe and healthy with all this craziness with the corona. And yes, see you next week. Have a good one. All right. Take care. Bye bye.